All right. What do you think defines a sin? Oh, that's a good question right there. What do I think defines a sin? Wow. Okay. Sin, I think it needs to be redefined. I think sin definitely needs to be redefined because now anything outside of, I guess the way that sin is like has been defined before is basically anything outside of perfection. But I had thought of a philosophical question regarding this imperfection just yesterday. That with perfection, like say we were able to be perfect, how would we grow? Because you learn from failure. You don't really like, and there's things that you learn in success, but you really like you learn in failure. So if you were perfect, would you grow at all? Would there be any learning curve or process in that? And so I think that a person trying to live without sin would be a person who has completely ended the whole growth process, the whole learning process. And so I think sin in that regard needs to be redefined because I think everybody would agree that that you're constantly growing throughout life and you're never going to be perfect, which what does perfect even mean? Because if perfect sin, that what do they both mean, honestly? Because if you look at a work of art, right, you could look at that art, and art is totally subjective to the individual, yet it is an objective it is a objective material piece in reality, I guess. But what people think about it is totally subjective to the artist and to the individual that's observing it. And one person could say that is perfect, but it's only perfect because of, well, the artist might even say that it's perfect, but it's only perfect to them because of some of the imperfections. And because something that is perfect can have this it's not like all perfectly 100% good in a sense, or right, I guess is a better way to put it, that they did it right, but they look at it as perfect. It's perfect inside of its imperfections, and there's a beauty in that. And so I think that, in regards to sin and being perfect without wrinkle, without any of that, I don't know. Could there be beauty in that? And I guess I'm looking at all of it like it's an art piece, like a perfect human or perfect God, whatever it may be. I'm honestly I'm kind of getting lost in my thoughts right now, but um, I think basically sin needs to be redefined, because sin in regards to perfection, what does that mean? Because if there's no opposite to something, if there's like, how do we grow? Good, bad, right, wrong. How would we experience anything? How would we know what's good if there wasn't bad? How would we know what was joy if there wasn't pain? So how would we know what perfection was if there wasn't imperfections? So I guess I'm not landing anywhere with this, but it's just I think it's a question that we need to ask ourselves, and I think that sin, the meaning of whatever it is, needs to be redefined. Because obviously, the whole missing the mark, but what mark are we missing? So that I don't think that whole sin thing where people say it just means missing the mark, which is the definition of sin. Um, what are we missing the mark of? Because if we never miss the mark, then we would never grow, we would never evolve, we would just stay in one place. So yeah, I think it needs to be redefined.